What's going on, everybody? Nick Costa here, and in this video I am going to show you how to play the flam. This is rudiment number 20 from the Percussive Arts Society's Essential Rudiments. So if you are just starting out at playing the drums or you haven't played in a while, this is a great rudiment to start out with just to kind of shake the rust off. So in this lesson, I am going to show you how to play the flam and give you a couple exercises to help you incorporate the flam into your playing. So let's get started. Okay, so when we talk about the flam, F-L-A-M, you are basically playing both hands at the same time, but one hand is slightly higher than the other. Because of that, when you drop both sticks at the same time, one is going to hit the surface right before the other does. So, in order to play a right-handed flam, you are going to have that right hand slightly higher than the left hand, and you are going to drop both hands at the same time. Notice that that left hand hits the practice pad before the right does. Same thing with a left-handed flam. Left hand is higher than the right. So in this first exercise, you are going to alternate between playing a right-handed flam and a left-handed flam, but you are going to put a quarter note rest in between them. I'm going to set the click at 80 BPM. Let's try it together. 1, 2, ready, and. So notice that when you are playing flams that you should be alternating which hand is higher. Notice that once that flam is played, we are not keeping the sticks pressed on the practice pad, we are allowing them to come up and just switching back and forth. Let's move on to exercise number 2. In this exercise, you are going to play 4 right-handed flams followed by 4 left-handed flams. This time around, we're going to have 2 beats rest in between. We're going to set that click back to 80 BPM. Play along with me. 1, 2, ready, and. Moving on to exercise 3, you are still playing 4 right-handed flams followed by 4 left-handed flams. This time we are playing them as an 1/8 note subdivision rather than a quarter note subdivision. Still give yourself those 2 beats rest in between. Let's give it a shot. 1, 2, ready, and. Now for exercise 4, we are going to go back and forth between playing flams as quarter note subdivisions and 1/8 note subdivisions. For that first measure, you are playing flams as quarter note subdivisions and are alternating back and forth between right and left-handed flams. For the second measure, you are going to switch over to playing the flams as an 1/8 note subdivision, but all right-handed flams. So for those first 2 measures, you have right-handed flam, left-handed flam, right-handed flam, left-handed flam, right-handed flam, right-handed flam, right-handed flam, right-handed flam. I know that sounds really confusing, right? But it's right, left, right, left, right, 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 right. Now for the next 2 measures, you are just switching it. So you're starting left-hand lead this time. Left-handed flam, right-handed flam, left-handed flam, right-handed flam, left, 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 left. So let's set that click back to 80 BPM and give it a shot. 1, 2, ready, and. So for exercise 5, you are going to continue to play flams as an 1/8 note subdivision. This time around, you are going to play 2 right-handed flams followed by 2 left-handed flams for the first time. Then you're going to start at left-hand lead, so 2 left-handed flams followed by 2 right-handed flams. We are still giving ourselves 2 beats of rest in between. Clicks going back on, play along with me. 1, 2, ready, and. Moving on to exercise 6. Exercise 6 is the same thing as exercise 4, except for when it comes time to playing the flams in the 8th note subdivision. When you get to that point of the exercise, you are going to play 2 right-handed flams followed by 2 left-handed flams the first time through, and then the second time through you're playing 2 left-handed flams followed by 2 right-handed flams. We are still giving ourselves 2 beats of rest in between. So as a refresher, that first measure you are playing flams in a quarter note subdivision. So you have right-handed flam, left-handed flam, right-handed flam, left-handed flam, right, right, left, left, 2 beats of rest. Then you'll play left-handed flam, right-handed flam, left-handed flam, right-handed flam, left, left, right, right, 2 beats of rest. Clicks going back to 80 BPM, play along with me. 1, 2, ready, and. So with those 6 exercises, work on them at a tempo that is comfortable for you to make sure that you can execute this flam correctly. You want to make sure that those sticks are bouncing back up off of the practice pad or whatever drum surface you were playing on. And you want to make sure that you can easily transition between playing a right-handed and a left-handed flam. This is a perfect time to pause this lesson and work on any of those exercises. Make sure that you're comfortable with all of them. And once you are, hit continue and we'll start with our challenge. So for this challenge, it is 8 measures in length and it involves you playing combinations of 16th notes, 8th notes, and flams. So for those first 2 measures, you are going to be playing this pattern, 1 E and a 2, 3 and 4. For 3 and 4, we are going to play right-handed flams. The second measure is the same pattern, but we are starting with our left hand. So when we get to that 3 and 4, we have left-handed flams. So those first 2 measures, you have this. 1 E and a 2, 3 and 4, 1 E and a 2, 3 and 4. Now for the next 2 measures, you are playing the rhythm of 1 and 2 and 3 E and a 4. For that first measure, we are going to be playing 2 right-handed flams followed by 2 left-handed flams, 3 E and a 4. The next measure is the same thing, but starting left-hand lead. So left-hand flams, right-hand flams, then 3 E and a 4. Putting them together, it sounds like this. 1 and 2 and 3 E and a 4. 1 and 2 and 3 E and a 4. The next 2 measures, we are playing the rhythm of 1 E and a 2 and 3 and 4. So for that first measure, the end of 2 and beat 3, you are going to play 2 left-handed flams. The end of 3 and beat 4, we are playing right-handed flams. And of course, that next measure, we are playing left-hand lead. So when we get to that end of 2, it's a right-handed flam followed by a right-handed flam on beat 3. The end of beat 3 and beat 4 are 2 left-handed flams. Those 2 measures sound like this. 1 E and a 2 and 3 and 4. 1 E and a 2 and 3 and 4. Now for the next 2 measures, you are playing 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. For the first 2 eighth notes, you're playing right-handed flams. Second 2 eighth notes, we're playing 2 left-handed flams. So for the beats 3 and 4, we are going to alternate our flams, right, left, right. And again, that next measure, we're starting left-hand lead. So the first 2 1 end are left-handed flams, 2 end are 2 right-handed flams. Then that 3 and 4, we're alternating left, right, left. Here's what it sounds like when we put them together. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So you'll notice that we have a 2-measure loop for each rhythm. The first measure starts with the right hand, second measure starts with the left hand. Let's go ahead and give it a shot. We're going to keep that click at 80 BPM. 1, 2, ready, and. So to recap, in this lesson you learned how to play the flam and you went through a few exercises where you are incorporating the flam into your playing. So now that we have gotten through the entire thing, let's see if we can up that challenge just a little bit. So if you are able to play everything comfortably and have your right hand and left hand flams sound pretty darn close to one another, we're going to take that last exercise, that 8-measure loop, and we're going to up the click to 125 BPM. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, and. So if you have a drum set at home and you want to incorporate flams into your playing, you can actually take any of these exercises and use them as drum fills. This is where I want you to actually start to think about some various ways that you can incorporate those exercises as drum fills. By doing this, you are improving on improvisational and musicianship skills. You are taking something that is meant for a practice pad and applying it to a drum set and trying to make it sound musical. Although I want you to be creative with this, here are a few ideas to get you started. And that is it. Thank you so much for checking out this video on how to play the flam. Hopefully you've gotten something out of this to help you out with your drumming journey. And until next time, I'll see you all later.